You know what, man? Every once in a while, we need to take a walk down memory lane, brother. We got a new set coming out soon, Modern Horizons 3. Looks pretty fun, but it's a little uninspiring for me. Honestly, that may just be me, dude. I might just be tired. I worked all damn week. It does have some bangers, but let's check out some commanders from days gone. But first, like and subscribe, brother. We gotta buy me some food, man. I can only afford 1 grain of rice this week, so join the Patreon. Definitely join the Discord, link in the description. Now let's start it off with a very unique Boros commander, Cadric the Soul Kindler. This guy's 2 red and a white for a legendary creature. He's a dwarf wizard, just like me. The legend rule doesn't apply to tokens you control. Whenever another non-token legendary permanent enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1. If you do create a token that's a copy of it, the token gains haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. That first ability is pretty bonkers, just the static legend rule doesn't apply to tokens you control. Red has a bunch of token copy effects, and circumventing the legend rule is always cool, because that rule sucks, man. The second ability is also pretty nuts. You can do some fun stuff with planeswalkers because they're legendary permanents. Getting a planeswalker out there that's going to die at the end of the turn anyway means you can activate its abilities twice, activate the negative abilities. In Boros colors, we have a bunch that turn into creatures. Like this guy, Sarkhan the Masterless, 3 red legendary planeswalker. It's got loyalty 5. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, each dragon you control deals 1 damage to that creature. Has a +1 until the end of turn. Each planeswalker you control becomes a 4/4 red dragon, gains flying. Has -3, create a 4/4 red dragon with flying. You get him and a copy out there, activate the -3 on the copy, get the +1 on the real one, you got a bunch of flying dragons out there, dude. Cadric's second ability is also an ETB, and as such can benefit from some blink, ephemerate, stuff like that. Blink is really good with this guy. And, God forbid we copy some legendary creature like Elish Norn. Everybody else's stuff is getting -4/-4. Sheesh, man. And Cadric is also a wizard, so you get the Harmonic Prodigy out there. I love this card, man. 1 in a red for a creature, human wizard, it's a 1/3 with prowess. If an ability of a shaman or another wizard you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. Harmonic Prodigy is also pretty nuts in this deck. Pay 2, get 2 copies, man. Plus, look at this guy. He's just a hot little dwarf making some sweet dragons. He's cute. That's more important than anything, man. Having a cute commander, that's the real power. And next up, Thalia and the Gitrog Monster. 1 white, black, and a green for a legendary creature, human frog horror. It's a 4/4, first strike, death touch. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. That's pretty good. Creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. Alright. And whenever Thalia and Gitrog attacks, sacrifice a creature or land, then draw a card. Come on, dude. If you're thinking about building an Abzan deck, Azkaban, Prisoner of Azkaban, dude, around a new legend from Modern Horizons 3, take a minute and check out this $3 card, man. Now, first of all, this thing is impossible to block. First strike, death touch means you can attack with impunity 99% of the time. And that little stacks effect has a big effect over the course of the game, man. Just ask Blind Obedience. We all hate that damn card. Blind Obedience comes down, dude. Everybody hates you. Now, you're sacking creatures or lands. You can play additional lands. Come on, man. The value is real. This is the fable of the princess and the frog. She's gonna give him a big old smooch and Gitrog turns into George the Animal Steel. They get married and live happily ever after. I did build a $100 deck around these 2 lovebirds that utilizes graveyard recursion, landfall to assemble a value engine built around Gitrog and Thalia. This deck gives me an excuse to slap in my favorite angel, the Adarkar Valkyrie. 4 white snow creature angel, it's a 4/5 with flying and vigilance. Tap, when target creature other than a Adarkar dies this turn, return that card to the battlefield under your control. She's just a damn snow angel, brother, so you attack with this thing. You attack with Thalia and the Gitrog. You sacrifice some kind of idiot out there. And then you know what? This thing has vigilance, dude. It doesn't have to tap to attack. So then you tap it, get that thing right back to the battlefield. You can also slap Nethroi, Apex of Death, in there. 2 white, black, and a green for a legendary creature, Cat Nightmare Beast. It's a 5/5. Has Mutate for 4 green, white, black, has Death Touch and Lifelink. Whenever this guy mutates, return any number of target creature cards with total power 10 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. What a giant mutant, dude. And we can slap in Pattern of Rebirth, 3 and a green for an enchantment aura, enchant creature. When enchanted creature dies, that creature's controller may search their library for a creature card, put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Listen man, I might go get a Lysa Forgotten Archangel. 2 white and a black for a legendary creature angel, 4/5, flying and lifelink. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, return that card to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. Anyways man, very fun deck. You can go nuts, but the one I built was a $100 budget slapper. Let's talk about this beautiful boy, the Lord of the Nazgul. 3 blue and a black for a legendary creature, Wraith Noble. It's a 4/3 with flying. Wraiths you control have protection from ring bearers. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 3/3 black Wraith creature token with menace. And if you control 9 or more Wraiths you control have base power and toughness 9/9 until end of turn. This guy's just a souped up Talrand. You're making copies, just like Rob Schneider at the damn copy machine on Saturday Night Live, brother. Use clone spells, cheap cantrips, instants, and sorceries to make 9 Nazgul. Now you're making Wraiths instead of Drakes. Making 9 isn't easy, but if you stick the 9 Nazgul uncommons from the base set in there, you're getting there, brother. The problem is the damn Nazgul are all $9. It's too much, man. That's $81 in uncommons if my math is correct. That's nuts. But you can build it just like Talrand. Draw go using changelings. You can get some really sweet changelings in black. And we do that here on Better Commander for 92 bucks. In any case, no matter how you build this guy, remember to read your damn cards. Whispering Madness here is basically a windfall, but it has Cipher. You may exile this card encoded on a creature you control, probably your commander because he's got flying. Whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player, its controller may cast a copy of the encoded card without paying its mana cost. That Cipher trigger lets you cast the card, thereby triggering the Lord of the Nazgul again. Anyways, man, this is $1.37 for this beast. Fun decks for bros with thick necks. And next up, America, Brutal Gladiator. America, man. 2 black, red, and green for a legendary creature, human warrior to 7/4. America must be blocked if able. As long as it's your turn, she has indestructible, brother. Whenever she deals combat damage to a creature, if that creature was dealt excess damage this turn, that creature's controller sacrifices a non-creature, non-land permanent. Brutal, man. That's the name of the game. No creature is safe from the brutal smackdown America dishes out. So we smack in, see what happens. Maybe she's smacking a creature with 4 toughness for 7 damage. Must be blocked. Doesn't matter, because second main phase, we're slapping in with a fight spell, brother. She's indestructible. You want to fight? That's fine, dude. I'll fight every damn creature on the battlefield. This is a fun deck. You know what? Stick a cheeky little Turgid in there. It's going to drive everybody nuts, man. Get beaten up by a jacked up Brigitte Nielsen, then Turgid takes your man? Come on, brother. Now this also gives you an excuse to run the hottest little dude out there, Domri, Anarch, or Bolus. So this guy, he basically buffs up your creatures a little bit. You can add red or green. Creature spells you cast can't be countered this turn. And -2, start the fight club, dude. Either of those abilities fits nicely in this deck. Universe is within, dude. Universe is within my butt. I'm here for a muscle lady smacking my enemies in the dome with a chunk of granite. And at number 5 here, we have Rona, Herald of Invasion. 1 in a blue for a legendary creature, human wizard. It's a 1/3. Whenever you cast a legendary spell, untap Rona, Herald of Invasion. It has tap, draw a card, discard a card, and 5 in a black Phyrexian, transform it. Activate only as a sorcery. Transforms into a Tolarian Obliterator. Phyrexian wizard, it's a 5/5 with trample stamples. Whenever a source deals damage to Rona, that source's controller exiles a card from their hand at random. If it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield under your control. Otherwise, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. At last, I am complete. Terrifying creature. We go from granite chunking muscle mommy to afro wielding lady madness, brother. And that's Better Commander, dude. Anyways, this is a legendary looter. We use sweet looters and reanimator decks, drop big creatures in the yard, dig them out. The backside ability is pretty nuts. It's fun to build around that. Use cards like Quomboaja Witches, however the heck you say that. Black creature, human wizard, it's a 1/3 tap. It deals 1 damage to any target and 1 damage to any target of an opponent's choice. Kind of a pretty Seb McKinnon artwork on this bad boy. It's also a pretty old card, man. I think it's Phil Foglio, I'm not 100% sure. Rona is also a wizard on both sides. So if you'd like, you can build into Reanimator with wizard synergies. Slap a Docent of Perfection into the graveyard, man, dig it out and you're in the money. That's what I did. It's a neat little deck. even if you don't flip her into an abomination that rivals my ex-wife. Okay, bonus commander. You've always wanted a mutate deck ever since you sent your DNA to 23andMe. The results came back and you're a mutant, brother. No shame in that. But there are really not that many mutants. You need 5 colors and a non-human creature to mutate onto. How about Ramos, dude? No, not John Stamos. Ramos Dragon Engine. 6 generic mana for a legendary artifact creature. It's a dragon. It's a 4/4 with flying. Whenever you cast a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it for each of that spell's colors. Remove 5 +1/+1 counters, add 10 Wooburg mana, activate only once each turn. This guy's about $5. I think everybody should have a 5-color deck that's fun to play. For a lot of people, you know what? That was Golos, dude, but they killed Golos. They banned him. They banned him because he told the truth. But this guy's still alive, Ramos is. It's a pretty bonkers creature, man. Can be a real menace if you can only get 5 counters on it. You get to use all those sweet mutating legends like Illuna Apex of Wishes, flying and trample for this big giant beast elemental dinosaur. It's a 6/6. Whenever it mutates, exile cards from the top of your library into exile a non-land permanent card. Put that card onto the battlefield or into your hand. These are pretty pricey, dude, so you'll want a lot of ramp. You also want some smaller creatures to mutate onto, like the old Cold-Eyed Selkie here. Whenever this thing deals combat damage to a player, you may draw that many cards. Or Animar. If you mutate a non-legendary creature on top of Animar, you can get clones out there that have the abilities of the whole stack, man. Say you mutate a damn Cavern Whisperer onto Animar. Cast a Phyrexian Metamorph, copying the Cavern Whisperer Animar combo, and you're in the money, brother. I mean, sure, your opponent comboed off 2 turns ago and the game's over, but at least you're having fun with a bunch of mutants. Sounds like a Friday night at my house. Anyways, man, enjoy the air out there. Enjoy the water, dude. Enjoy your wife and children if you have any, or if you find any out there in the world, enjoy them too, because that's better commander, brother. Nikki G, signing off.